Alright guys, hello and welcome to this channel MBA Wallah English Medium. And now today we are here to start a very important series, absolutely necessary I would say, when you are at this stage, right behind the CAT, right? A month or 2 months later, you will be giving your CAT exam. Now, the major problem a student faces that how to select the right questions so that they can maximize their number of questions. A lot of teachers you will see talking about choose the right question. CAT is a selective exam. But how to select and how to attempt those selective questions we'll learn today in this particular video. So my name is Rahul Bathla and I'm a CAT 99.95 percentiler. Today let's learn how to attempt CAT in my way. I'll break this CAT 2024 slot 1 into two parts. Today's lecture we'll try to analyze what actually was CAT Quants 2024 slot 1, and then we'll talk about the sitters which we could have attempted and scored 33 marks, because what we have is 11 sitter questions which could have been done. And do you know what? If a student could have chosen these 11 questions and got them correct, he would have scored 33 marks and hence 99 percentile as per the slot 1 data. Now, let's go ahead and let's go and have a look how the question paper looked like, right? So I'll do it in this order. First arithmetic, algebra, geometry, modern math, and then number system, right? Now guys, have a look. If I talk about the module wise easy doable questions and then the tough questions. Arithmetic we saw 8, 5 doable, 3 tough, algebra only 2 doable, 7 tough. Geometry 2 questions were there, both were easy. Modern math 1 question, easy. Number system 1 easy, 1 difficult. Total 11. 11 questions, 33 marks, you could have got 99 percentile. Now just have a look. Majority of the test takers, they rely on only 2 modules. They say that okay, we'll rely just only arithmetic and algebra, and arithmetic algebra combinedly have 17 questions. I have enough of questions. But no guys. The point is not that if you have done arithmetic and algebra, you can do all the algebra and arithmetic questions. No. Specifically not necessary. And if you notice, they gave 7 questions tough from algebra. So if you are just relying on these 2 modules, you cannot do all of these questions because of the time constraint as well, even if you are excellent in these 2 modules. 7 tough questions does not mean that okay, I'll be able to do it because I am excellent in this particular module. No. What about the time? That is 40 minutes. Yes, you can do that, I believe in you, but they'll take 3 to 4 minutes, and in that way you'll not be able to do them. And on the other hand, once you're leaving geometry, modern math and number system, see 3 or 4 rather easy and 1 tough. So 5 questions from these module, I admit that they are very minimal. But out of the 5, 4 were on the easier side. So you're not just discarding the 5 questions, you're discarding 4 out of 11 easy questions. Understand the beauty of the exam. So that is why I say that cover all the 5 modules and be excellent in these 2. Even if you don't excel in these 2, fine, you'll not be able to do the hard questions from here, but at least make sure that you're able to do the easy questions from here. That is the game, guys. Right? So now let us see how these 11 easy questions looked like, and let's solve them one by one, starting from arithmetic. So arithmetic, we did have a decent number of easy questions. Let's start with this one. I want you to pause the video, try it on your own, get the answer, because you should know that the question which majority of the people felt easy after the paper, of course, when the exam scenario was taken out or when the time constraint was taken out, at that time majority felt that this was an easy question. Check whether you are able to do an easy question without any kind of exam circumstances, right? And once the video gets over, do mention in the comment how many could you do it out of the 11. Okay, chala, try it out. I assumed that you have paused the video and now I'm doing it, right? So in September, the incomes of Kamal, Amal and Vimal are in the ratio of 8, 6 and 5. Fantastic. So we have Kamal and then we have Amal and then we have Vimal. Since the question talks about the percentage and the ratio, entirely I am going to assume good numbers, right? If you have some specific amount adding being subtracted, I won't assume. Right now I can easily assume 865 ratio, I'm assuming them to be 800, 600 and 500. Why only 100, not 50 or 5000? Percentage is nothing but 100 in a denominator. So 100 in a denominator will be taking away the zeros from them, right? Now, they rent a house together. Kamal pays 15%. Alright, so let's calculate the house rent. 15% of 800. The percentage symbol will take away two zeros. So it is 15 into 8, that's 120 from the Kamal's end. Amal pays 12%. The percentage again takes two zeros, 12 6 is 72 from Amal's end. Vimal pays 18%. Percentage takes away two zeros, 18 5 is 90. So here I have the rent. 120, 210, 282 is the house rent. Fantastic. Understood? The power of the two zeros handles the percentage symbol easily. And now, what happens? In October, the house rent remains unchanged. Great. So it's the same. While the incomes increased by 10, 12 and 15%. Now the income has changed, right? This guy's increases by 10%. Percentage handles the 20 again for me. 10 8s are 80. So that means it's 880. 10% or 80. 12%. Percentage takes care of two zeros. 12 6 is 72. That's 672. 15%. Percentage take care of two zeros. 15 5 is 75 increase. That's 575. Fantastic. The new income in October. In October, the percentage of their total income that will be paid as house rent. All right. So what is the total income? That is what we need to calculate. And then we can calculate house rent as in the terms of percentage from this. So what is this total? 8, 6 and 5. So 8, 6, 14 and 5, 1900, 1980, 1980 and 140. All right. So 1980, 2080 and 2127, right? So you can calculate in that way like I have done, or you can apply, slowly applying the Vedic. 8, 6, 14, 5, 19. Write down 1900. 80, 70, 70. 140 and 80. Write down 220. 5 and 2. Write down 7. That's it. So first taking the hundreds, then the tens, and then the ones. Easy. What we have is 21, 27. Perfect. Now you're asking me house rent in terms of total income. What is the percentage? 282 by 2127 into 100. Both are divisible by 3. Apply the divisibility test of 3. Sum divisible by 3. So 3 and 9 ja 27. 3 4 ja 3 7 0 and 9. 100 into almost 7, approximately 700. So it's going to be somewhere around 94 by 7, taking the approximation. Right? Hardly matters. 7.09 or 7, right? Comes out to be 7 1 ja 224, 13 point something, right? 13.3, and it has to be a little less, so 13.26. Only answer in 13 we are done. Have a look how beautifully we handled it without any form of equation. So that was question 1. I hope you got the answer right. Answer number C. 1 done. 10 more to go. Do solve till the end. You will analyze where you stand, right? And these 11 questions fetch you 99 percentile in CAT Quants slot 1. Now, there are 4 numbers. Perfect. The average of first 2 numbers is 1 more than the first number. First 3 number is 2 more than the 2 numbers. First 4 is so on and so on. Looks very complicated, right? Seems like a lot of things are going on over here, right? We have 2 numbers greater than the 1, 3 greater than the 2, 4 greater than 3. But use the art of balancing and average. Have a look. There are 4 numbers such that the average of first 2 numbers is 1 more than the first number. Perfect. Look here. Very, very beautiful and impactful method. Let the first number be A or X, whatever. I am taking it to be A. Now, once you bring in the second number, the average of these 2 numbers is 1 more than the first number. So the average is 1 more than this. So that's A plus 1. Average of 2 numbers. 1 more than this number. Now imagine if this guy would have been A, the average would have been A, average A. Now balance it. You want both of them to be A plus 1. So the average becomes A plus 1. So I need to give 1 here, or rather give 2 here. Same thing, because I cannot change this. Now if I look carefully, A plus 1, if 1 comes this side, A plus 1, balanced. Yes or no? The average is A plus 1. See the beauty. I gave A, the average becomes A, but you needed A plus 1. So 1 was to be given to both of them. That means net 2 quantity was to be provided. I can't provide this one, so I gave to this one. Becomes A plus 2. Same thing I'll do 2 more times, right? The average of first 3 numbers is 2 more than the average of first 2 numbers. So 2 numbers have an average of A plus 1. I want this to be 2 more than this, or that means I want the average of these 3 numbers to be A plus 3. Now they together have an average of A plus 1. If I give A plus 1, all 3 of them will have the average of A plus 1. They too already have A plus 1. Now all 3 have A plus 1. But you wanted A plus 3. So 2 has to be given here, 2 to this one, 2 to this one. Ultimately, 6 has to be given. Right now, they all stand equivalent to A plus 1. You want them to be A plus 3, 2 is the gap. Give 2 to each. 6, give 6 to this one. So this becomes A plus 7, right? Or rather than A plus 1, this becomes A plus 7. Now this is our third number. Average is A plus 3. Or you can think in that way as well, ki A plus 3 is the average, total has to be 3A plus 9, 3A is already there, you need 9. Right? That is another way to look at it. Now it says the average of first 4 number is 3 more than the average of first 3 numbers. Perfect. So average of first 4 numbers is what? 3 more than the average of first 3. First 3 has an average of A plus 3, 3 more than this is A plus 6. So A plus 6, that means their sum has to be 4A plus 24. 4A plus 24. If I give A, I have 4A plus 9 so far, but I need 4A plus 24. You have 4A plus 9, so this is A plus 15. That's it. And we are done without forming the equation. These are my 4 numbers. Difference between largest and smallest. Largest is A plus 15, smallest is A, the difference is 15, that's it. So either use balancing or use this, that if the average is A plus 1, sum has to be 2A plus 2. 2A already, I need a 2. 3 have the average A plus 3, I need the sum to be 3A plus 9, because there are 3 people, so 3A plus 9, 3A already, I need a 9, I already have 2, gave 7. If the average wants to be A plus 6, so 4A plus 24, I already have 4A, 7 to 9, I need to give 15, so that it becomes 4A plus 24. Alright. Of course, it's a PYQ, will require some mental calculation, or you can form the equations, but doable, right? Let's jump to the third one. Standard scenario of distance, time and speed. You must have done if you have prepared properly for your CAT. 2 places A and B, 45 kilometers apart, right? So here we have A, here we have B, 45 kilometers apart, fantastic. Connected by a straight road, Anil goes from A to B, while Sunil from B to A, alright, so Anil goes from here, and Sunil from this side. Starting at the same time, they cross each other exactly in 1 hour. Let us say they cross each other at this location. So since they started at the same time, if these guys take T hours to start and meet this guy, he also takes the T time to start and meet at this guy. Why? Because they started at the same time, they are meeting at the same time, so initial and the final time is same. Initial time same, started at the same time. Final time till here, meeting time, same for both of them. Now what does it say? They crosses each other in exactly 1 hour 30 minutes. 1 hour 30 minutes is 3 by 2 hours. So this T we already know is 3 by 2 hours. right? So they are crossing each other in 3 by 2 hours, 3 by 2 hours. If Anil reaches B exactly 1 hour 15 minutes after Sunil. Now 1 hour 15 minutes is 1 by 4 or 5 by 4 hours, right? So A is reaching 5 by 4 hours after Sunil reaches A. So if Sunil takes T more time, this guy takes T plus 5 by 4 hours time, right? Now in this scenario, we know, we have studied in the classes that this into this is equals to this into this. So 3 by 2 into 3 by 2 is 9 by 4, T1 T2 equals to T1 T2. This is T into T plus 5 by 4. Hold on for a second and see if you can observe the answer. If you can, fine. Otherwise, you will have to solve the quadratic. Don't be in a rush to solve the equation. Sometimes observe, things help. Now in this case, 9 by 4. I already have a 4. Denominator will easily balance if I say 4t plus 5, right? So the idea is t and 4t plus 5 is 9. And I can easily see 1 is settling them. 1, if I give here, 4 1 ja 4 plus 5, 9 by 4 into 1, easy. So sometimes observation do work. Otherwise, you always have the quadratic. But I did observe T1 is working. Perfect. So if T is working, the question is asking me, the speed of Anil is what? Anil is taking this much amount of time, that is 3 by 2 plus 1 plus 5 by 4. And that means a 6 by 4, a 4 by 4, 10 by 4 and a 5, 15 by 4 hours. This is the time Anil takes. The distance to be covered is 45. What is the speed? Distance upon time. 15 3s are 3 4s are is 12 kilometer per hour. Perfect. Now the calculations have to be done on your own at this stage when you're 2 months down the line for CAT, but have a look at the things, how to observe. I could have taken, converted this into quadratic and solved, but that is not the purpose. You have to save time. Yes. So this is the third question, which was doable, straight from the pattern. Not much of the thinking required. The fourth one, have a look at this, very simple, straightforward, very, very easy. A glass is filled with milk, 2/3 of its content is poured out and replaced with water. So initially it starts with the milk entirely, right? 2/3 has been taken out. What remained was 1/3 of it. The rest is replaced with water. So this much amount of milk is left. Remember, we have done this in the classes, right? The leftover factor. Removal factor is 2/3, leftover is 1/3. And this process is again repeated, right? Or rather, it is repeated 3 more times. So again, we'll have 3 leftover factors again, because this is repeated 3 more times. So you started with V, you removed 2/3, 1/3 remained, then 1/3 of the remaining remained, then 1/3 of the remaining, then 1/3 of the remaining. Ultimately, 1 by 81 of the initial quantity remained, right? Now the question is the final ratio of milk to water, right? Final ratio of milk to water. So this simply means that out of the entire quantity, 1 by 81 of the quantity is our milk. Let's assume the quantity. Let's assume that the quantity was 81 of the entire milk or entire beaker. So now the milk left is 1 by 81 into 81. That's 1. So if out of the 81, 1 is the milk, so what is water? The remaining, which is 80. So milk to water is 1 is to 80. The answer D. Make sure you don't mark 1 is to 81. This will be milk to total. This ratio gives you milk to total, right? This says out of the 81, one part of the volume is milk. So what is the water? The remaining, which is 80 by 81. So better I assume the total to be 81. So milk is 1, water is 80. Ratio 1 is to 80. 4 lines and you're done. Another doable question. Let's jump to question 5 and the final question of arithmetic that was easy and doable, right? Says selling price of a product is fixed to ensure 40% profit had cost 40% less, had been 5 rupees, is all right. So apart from this, everything is given in percentage, right? And you know that when one thing is just there, which is a specific number, and the rest is in percentage, we assume and utilize this specific number for applying assumption and unitary method. Now see, you must have studied all these methods if you are trying to understand these questions, and these methods you can easily find in the MB Wallah Hindi channel, right? If you know Hindi, and if you don't, then you are late to learn all these methods right now. The cat is just in a month's time, right? Or more, less than 2 months time, right? So then I would advise you follow your own methods, whatever you like, but at least you know that these were doable questions. So what I'm going to do is selling price of a product is fixed to ensure 40% profit. Let us assume that the cost price was 100. So selling price was fixed as 140. So that of course you can make 40% profit, or you can increase your number by 40%. CP, that is the SP. Assumption, 100 rupees cost, you want 40% profit, sell at 140. Now if the product had cost 40% less, so 40% less than 100, that means the product costed 60 rupees. And you want to have a profit of 50% still by decreasing this by some amount. Don't mention 5 because this is a real number and all of these things are assumptions. So I'm not mentioning 5. This is as per the question. As per the assumption which we can still work is the things that relate with percentage. So then the resulting profit would have been 50%. So if you drop this to 60 or reduce by 40%, you still are able to gain 50%. And what's the 50% profit here? 50% of 60 is 30, half. That means 90. So the idea is, as per us, the SP was dropped down by 50 rupees. But as per the question, the SP was reduced by 5 rupees. This is our entirely assumption scenario. The question says that, wait a minute, this is not 50 but 5 as per the question. So the question says what is going to be the SP? As per us the SP was 140, but what will be as per the question now? 50 has become 10, 50 has become 5, sorry, multiplying by 1 by 10. So multiplying 1 by 10, that's 14, 1 0 gets away. So that means as per the question it should have been 14, and the answer is 14. So this is our assumption scenario. All the values are ours. And then we are converting our values to questions values using 50 and 5 as a reference. So if the entire question talks about percentage and ratio, you assume a number, solve the scenario as per your tables and use the specific number to create the comparison chart. So these were the 5 doable questions you could have attempted in the arithmetic. And now it's about the algebra. Only 2 were easy, right? I want you to try one on your own. Simple question, straight question. Might be a possibility that the language of the question confuses you, but you must have done this question in your prep if you were preparing with full, I would say, effectiveness. Chala, I'll try to solve. Okay, for any natural number n, let a n be the largest integer not exceeding root n. Have you read this term? Largest integer not exceeding. This is greatest integer factor. So basically it says that an is the greatest integer that does not exceed n. That is what it is saying, rather root n. Correct? So an is equal to the largest integer not exceeding, that means less than or equal to root n. So what is this a1? a1 is greatest integer of root 1, a2 is greatest integer of root 2, and so on. a50 is greatest integer of root 50. And you need to find out the sum of them. Now how do you solve the questions that involves greatest integer function? You look at the thresholds, right? For example, a root 1, a root 2, a root 3, all these 3 quantities will become 1. This is exactly 1. This is 1 point something. So greatest integer less than 1 point something is 1. For the first time it will happen at root 4, that you will end up at 2. Similarly, now this will keep becoming 2. For the first time at root 9, it will happen that you will become exactly 3. Isn't it? So first look at the thresholds where the number changes. Because root 9 becomes 3. So the first time you will get a 3 inside a greatest integer function and answer 3. Similarly, when will you get 4 for the first time? The answer is the square root of 16. This will become 4 for the first time. Then similarly, root 25 will become 5 for the first time. Root 36 will become 6 for the first time. And similarly, a root 49 will become 7 for the first time. I won't go ahead because I just need to go till root 50, right? Now, we have already stated the first point from where the number changes. Now, the point is the final number where this will end up at 2 and so on. Easy. If root 9 becomes 3 for the first time, that means just one behind this, root 8 will be the last number to become a 2. So root 4 to root 8, 8 minus 4, 4 plus 1, 5. 5 times will get a 2, that means 10. Root 9 to root 15, perfect. 15 minus 6, 7 times you will get this. Now you can see the chain, 3, 5, 7. Do you see the pattern? 9 times you will become this. 11 times will become this. 1 less than 49. 13 times will become this. So maths is a beautiful thing which always follow patterns. And there be very careful because you just have two numbers, root 49 to root 50. You do not write all the numbers which can turn into 7. So 7 into 2. So this is what we need to add. We'll get a 10 from here, 21 from here, 36 from here, 55 from here, and 78 from here, 14 from here. Perfect. That's it. Now add them smartly. Don't make a mess here. So 10, 20, 30, 30, 30, 60, 66, 67, 70. Here we have 70. 148, 198, 203 and 14. 217. That's what we get in total. 217 is our answer. I must have done these kind of questions. I've made you do these kind of questions from root 1 to root 100, logarithms, fractions, all such kind of series we have done in the classes. This was one of the easy questions. Why I'm saying it easy? Because this is one which you have done in the classes. So you don't have to form the pattern over there. You don't have to think much. You know, okay, this is the way I have to run it this way. And then you can reach it. All right, have a look at this one, straight exponents question. Now this number might, give you some trouble, but you have to observe. Ultimately, it is a question which has some exponents and a multiply sign in the middle. So you are talking about adding the power for sure. You want me to add the powers. You want me to convert this into 8. Let's see if 3 2 7 6 8 converts into 8. The game is sorted. Yes. So let's go ahead. I take out, I prime factorize it and start with 8 directly. 8 4 za, 0 za, 9 ja, 6 ja, game over. Because 4096 I know. This guy is 2 to the power 12. I recognize that 1024, 2048, 4096. This guy is 2 to the power 12 and hence 2 to the power 3 whole to the power 4 and hence 8 to the power 4. So this becomes 8 into 8 to the power 4 and hence 8 to the power 5. 1 I have here, 4 I have here. So this is written as 1 by 8 to the power k. This is 1 by 8 to the power 5. That means 5 came from here, 3 you already had. This is 1 by 8. Again, 5 came from here and you already had a denominator in the k. If you know basic exponents and you recognize this, game is over. Compare the powers. Left side we have 1 by 8 to the power k plus 5 by 3. Right hand side you have 1 plus 5 by k. Finish it off. Multiplied by 3k. If you multiply the entire equation by 3k, 3k into k, 3k square. 3 will get cancelled, you will get a 5k. 3 into 4, 3k. K gets cancelled, you have a 15. So ultimately I have 3k square plus 2k minus 15 equals to 0. And what are you looking for? Sum of the real values of k. So sum is minus b by a, that's minus 2 by 3. The answer becomes b for Bathla. Simple. Again 4 to 5 lines, done, easy. Again one of those questions where you don't have to think much. 7 questions, 21 marks already. Yes, doable. Arithmetic, algebra, all the easy questions are done. So if you're a person who just did algebra and arithmetic, and that too at a certain level, you don't have that great maths, still these 7 questions, 21 marks should have been attained, right? Time to move to the geometry question. How the geometry questions are tested. Now you'll see there will be no calculation involved much as well. Very little. And now this question involves a little calculation. This is somewhere I'll say algebra plus geometry, multi-concept question. The next question, only on geometry, very simple. So it says the surface area of the closed rectangular box, nothing but a cuboid. Rectangular box cuboid. Inscribed in a sphere is 846. What is the surface area? 2 into LB plus BH plus HL. And that is given to you as 846. Fantastic. And the sum of the lengths of all the edges. What are all the edges? 4 lengths, 4 breadths, and 4 heights. You are sitting in a room. There are 4 heights. There are 4 lengths. And there are 4 breadths. Right? So ultimately you have 4 lengths, breadths, and height. And they all add up to 144. So that means you have L plus B plus H equals to 36. This is one thing you have. This is one thing you have. Both the things can easily help you get L square plus B square plus H square. How? We'll see. The volume of the sphere is, now see, if I have a sphere and you have a cuboid, so you know that this guy, the body diagonal is going to be the diameter, right? These guys are going to be behind. This is the diameter. So the diameter is twice the body diagonal. And what is the body diagonal? It is 2 times, body diagonal is under root of L square plus B square plus H square. Direct, simple formula, easiest. And the diameter is nothing but 2r. 2, so 2 will get cancelled. So the radius comes out to be under root of L square plus B square plus H square. Right. Or rather, just give me a second. This was already 2r. Diameter or 2r. Not twice of BD, just the BD. A little mistake. Now it's fine. So this is your diameter or this is your 2r and r will comes out to be this by 2. Now it is fine. Fantastic. I was just cancelling it in my mind. I wrote something rubbish. Let's get corrected. Fine. Now what I need is, I need L square plus B square plus H square, the under root of that. Right? Diameter is the body diagonal. Body diagonal is root L square plus B square plus H square. Diagonal 2r. 2 comes here. Simple. Now the point is how to get down the L square plus B square plus H square using these two. Simple. Use little algebra. L plus B plus H whole square is equals to L square plus B square plus H square, which I need to calculate the R, plus 2 times LB plus BH plus HL. Right. I'm writing this term as X because I need X, right? So X is nothing but this guy, which is what? 36 square minus this, that's 846. Now this is a little troublesome calculation. 36 square minus 846. I need to calculate 36 square. No, I'm not going to do that. Ultimately, remember the R comes out to be what? A root of X by 2. So I'm interested in finding root X. Fine. So I'll find root X. I go to this part, root X equals to under root of this entire thing. I'm writing this guy as 6 to the power 4. 6 square whole square. 6 to the power 4 minus 846. Why did I do that? I'm going to take 6 common and play. So if I take 6 common so that I don't have to calculate 36 square, what happens? You get a 6 cube, which you know is 216, easy. 1 ja, 4 ja, right? 1 ja 24, 4 ja 141. Now this becomes a little handleable calculation. This comes out to be 75, quite easy. 75 is 25, 3. 25 comes out as 5, right? 25 comes out as 5. Now you are just left with a 3. 25 into 3. 25 gone, just a 3. 3 will take 1 3 from here, comes out as 3. 1 3 is gone, you're left with 2. 15 root 2, that's your root x. Done. So what is the radius? 15 root 2 by 2 and hence 15 by root 2. Done. So that's our radius. What do we need to calculate? The volume. The volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So 4 by 3 pi r cube is 15 cube into root 2 cube. Root 2 cube is 2 root 2. 2 root 2 into root 2 is 4. So we do have a root 2. And this does not look like 750 to me. There is no 0. It has to be 1125. So 3 5 ja 225 into 5 1125. A root 2 and a pi. So again B for Bathla. Simple. The amalgamation of basic algebra and basic geometry. Alright. We just need to know that, okay, how do you use these two to calculate L square plus B square plus S square, and then just a little manipulation you could have done by calculator as well. But I just am not so fond of calculator. So just to do these things like this. Imagined that, okay, I need to calculate root x. Rather than calculating this, let's directly calculate the root of that. Game over. So let's move to the next question. The easy geometry. Very simple, very straightforward geometry question. ABCD is a rectangle with sides AB 56, BC 45 and E is the midpoint of side CD. Right. Something like this. A, B, that's 56. BC, that's 45. E is the midpoint of CD. So E is the midpoint of CD, and if it is a midpoint half, that means 28 and 28. The radius of the end circle ADE. So this in circle you're talking about, right? This is a 90 degree. I have 28. I have this as 45, right? So we need to calculate this guy. 28, 45. I guess 53 is the triplet. So if you know that, great. And if you don't, you have to apply the Pythagoras theorem. This will become 2025, 45 square. 28 square, I guess 784. And ultimately you have 27 and 2809. Yes, 53, absolutely. So a little calculation, or you know the squares, then things will work out. So this hypotenuse is 53. You're looking for the radius of this circle. Simple formula for a right angle triangle. Sum of the sides 40, 20, 60, 68 and 5, 73 minus hypotenuse upon 2. A plus B minus C by 2. You must have learned that in the classes. Radius comes out to be 10. That's it. Easy geometry, that's what I say. Leaving an entire module is never advisable, guys. At least the triangle and the quadrilaterals has to be done. Alright. So this is about the geometry. Let's move to the modern math question. That was easy. A question directly based on AP. Even a 10th class student can do it. You can find these kind of questions a lot in the NCERT of class 10 standard. Same simple forming equations. All these are in arithmetic progression. X5, that means A5, which is A1 plus 4D equals to minus 4. And then you have this equation. This will give me 2A1. This will give me 2A1, hence 4A1. This will give me 5D, that means 10D. This will give me 8D, that means 16D. So 16 and 10 that is 26D, right? So you can do it directly as well, like I'm doing it, right? Or you can just put in the values and solve it. This will give me 2A1, one from here, one from here, 12D and 10D, that's 22D. What do I have is 2A1 equals to minus 4D, or I can say 4D equals to minus 2A1. Why did I do that? I already see 4D there, so I thought directly to substitute. So A1, instead of plus 4D, I'm writing minus 2A1 equals to minus 4, minus A1 equals to minus 4, A1 comes out to be 4. And we are done. If A1 is 4, this is minus 8. And D comes out to be minus 2. We are done. We know A1, we know D, we know the AP. You're asking me A100. A100 is A1 plus 1990. That's 4. 100D is minus 200. Or you can just do it. Minus 190. That's minus 190. Again a B for Bathla. So many B's, huh? All B's in the easy question. Fine. Great. So that's your question number 10. Easy question from arithmetic progression, modern math. Final easy question that you could have attempted, and making the count to be 11. 1 from the number system, straightforward. 10 to the power 100 divided by 7. The remainder is straightforward question, and a straightforward question on Fermat theorem. What does the theorem say? See, here we are here to calculate 10 to the power 100 by 7. So we know that the Fermat theorem states that if the denominator is prime, we have it, then any number to the power 1 less than that prime will give you remainder 1. So in case when we have the number or the denominator as 7, so anything to the power 6 is going to give us remainder 1. And we also know that something is 10, so 10 to the power 6 by 7 is going to give us remainder 1. This is the theorem, that if you have a prime number, 1 less than that prime number, any power. So 10 to the power 6 will give you a 1 remainder. So this guy is nothing but so many 10 to the power 6, 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 and so on. At the end of the day, we'll be left with some. Let's calculate. So divide 100 by 6. 6, 16 and 96. So you have 16 this, 96 gone, and you are left with 10 to the power 4. If you can do that in the mind, fine. Otherwise, divide 100 by 6. 6, 16 and 96, 4. That means you have 10 to the power 6 for 16 times, right? So these can be 16 times 10 to the power 6, and the 4 will remain, that we have written separately. Now individually they will keep giving you 1. So all this becomes 1 and you are just left with 10 to the power 4. Yes. Now this you should know, that while calculating remainder, we are just focused on remainder and nothing else. So all the text 10 to the power 6 will keep giving you 1 and then it will just fade away. We are left with this. Either you can just write down 10,000 divided by 7, or you can say 100 into 100 divided by 7. 98 is divisible by 7, so this will give a remainder of 2 by 7, this will give a remainder of 2 by 7, so ultimately 4 by 7, remainder comes out to be 4. The answer is T for Delhi. 11 easy questions I've done right in front of you, and if you calculate the time, I was doing very slow, taking the entire time of the world, still very easily doable in 40 minutes. If I was not explaining you, this could have been done in 20 minutes. Alright, so if I can do it, you can also do it if the methods are right. Right? The mind should start working in the way that we have, it should be flawless. You're not there to think. So what are you saying we're not there to think? See, first we are there to attempt those questions which we have seen while we were learning. These 11 questions, if you have not seen, then your preparation is not enough, guys. These 11 questions are one of the standard questions. These questions have been taught in every batch of our classes, right? So every year CAT brings the exam, there are different slots. In every slot, you'll find those 10, 11 questions which you have seen in the classes. And these are the questions where you don't think. You just see the question, you know how it has to be done, you jump to the question and you solve it. And doing this 11 can give you 99 percentile. I'm not asking you that the rest 11 questions which we'll do in the second video of this particular series, they are going to be easy. There you will have to apply your brain. There will be questions which you won't have seen before. There will be questions you will be witnessing for the first time. And can we do that in the 40 minutes? I don't think so. But these 11 questions, we have seen it in the classes. We have done them before. We can easily handle them. And that is why I always say CAT is a selective exam and not a one for the brilliance. So I hope you have understood with the help of this video. Actually, these were the 11 questions that were to be done. We'll also solve the rest 11 so that in case if on a particular day it came onto your ego and you start fighting with those questions, how to handle them as well. And in case you are aiming for that 100 percentile mark in quant, we'll learn those ways as well. But again, if you are not able to understand any of the question from here, right, any of the methods which I have used here, and you understand Hindi, you can go to the MBA Wallah Hindi channel. There you can just gather how to do all these questions or what are these concepts. Otherwise, I would say don't change your methods right now just when you sit 1 month before CAT or maybe 2 months. Take care. All the best. See you in the next video.